Imagine staying at a hotel that looks completely normal, but secretly, a group of terrifying witches is holding a meeting there. Their plan is horrifying. They want to turn innocent children into mice using a magical potion. And this time, their target is a young boy named Ryan. Ryan had lost his parents in a terrible accident when he was very young. Since then, he had become quiet and sad. His grandmother loved him deeply and wanted to bring happiness back into his life. One day, she gave Ryan a little pet mouse. Ryan immediately became attached to it and spent most of his time playing with his new friend. But one day, while Ryan was outside, a strange woman appeared and watched him from a distance. She soon disappeared without saying anything. Later, Ryan went grocery shopping with his grandmother. While his grandmother was busy, the same mysterious woman appeared again. She offered Ryan a chocolate and repeatedly asked him to eat it. Ryan noticed that she also had a strange snake with her. Before Ryan could take the chocolate, his grandmother arrived. The woman immediately disappeared. Back home, Ryan told his grandmother everything. She became worried and warned him never to accept food from strangers. Then she told Ryan a frightening story from her childhood. When she was 10 years old, she had gone outside with her friend. Suddenly, her friend disappeared. Ryan's grandmother later saw a strange woman giving her friend a chocolate. The next day, she witnessed something unbelievable. Her friend had been transformed into a chicken. Nobody believed her story, but she knew the woman had been a witch. Fearing that the witches had discovered their home, Ryan's grandmother decided they needed to leave. The next day, Ryan and his grandmother moved into a hotel. Unfortunately, they didn't know that the hotel was the meeting place of a group of witches. That night, Ryan asked his grandmother what witches looked like. She explained that witches had strange hands and feet, which they always kept hidden. They also had an extremely powerful sense of smell and could detect children from far away. The next day, Ryan wandered into a large hall and accidentally discovered the witches' secret meeting. The most powerful witch, known as the Grand Witch, was explaining their plan. She showed the others a magical potion and said that if even one drop was mixed into a child's chocolate, the child would immediately turn into a mouse. Ryan secretly listened to everything. Suddenly, the Grand Witch sensed that a child was nearby. She followed Ryan's scent and discovered that someone had been hiding beneath the stage. She threw the stage aside, but Ryan had already escaped. A little later, another boy entered the room. The witches gave him a chocolate containing the potion. He ate it without knowing the truth. Within seconds, smoke came out of his body, and he transformed into a tiny mouse. Ryan tried to escape, but the Grand Witch eventually caught him. She put several drops of the potion into his ear, and Ryan immediately transformed into a mouse, too. Luckily, Ryan's pet mouse helped him escape. While hiding, Ryan met another mouse who revealed that he had once been a human boy. The witches had transformed him into a mouse as well. Ryan, his pet mouse, and the other mouse decided to fight back. They returned to Ryan's grandmother and told her everything. She realized that the witches were staying on the floor below them. She asked Ryan to steal the magical potion so they could find a way to defeat the witches. Ryan sneaked into the witch's room using a long sock and managed to steal the potion. When his grandmother pulled him back upstairs, the Grand Witch tried to grab the sock, but Ryan's grandmother quickly tricked her into letting it go. Unfortunately, the potion couldn't turn Ryan back into a human. Then Ryan had an idea. He remembered that the witches were preparing a special soup for their dinner. If they could put the potion into the soup, the witches might all transform into mice. Ryan secretly poured the potion into the soup. That evening, all the witches gathered for dinner and began eating. Suddenly, one witch started shaking. Smoke came from her body, and she transformed into a mouse. Then another witch transformed. Soon, almost every witch in the room had become a mouse. But the Grand Witch had not eaten the soup, so she remained human. She quickly realized that Ryan and his grandmother were responsible. She chased after them. Ryan and his two mouse friends prepared a trap. When the Grand Witch approached, her foot became caught in it. Ryan quickly pushed some of the magical food into her mouth. Within seconds, the Grand Witch also transformed into a mouse. Ryan's grandmother gathered all the witch mice and locked them inside a large jar, keeping them where they could no longer hurt anyone. Finally, Ryan, his grandmother, and his two mouse friends returned home. Although Ryan was still a mouse, he was no longer lonely or afraid. He had his friends beside him, and together they began enjoying their strange new life. The witches had wanted to destroy innocent children, but in the end, they were defeated by the very magic they had used against others. And that is how Ryan survived the terrifying Witches Hotel. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more exciting movie recaps.